Hello, Gila Nehemia here. Just wanted to send a shout out to Carol Starr Taylor today. She wrote this amazing post, and she said she created like a poster that said, "You are your own fucking hero." So, and my message today is that you actually can get everything you desire. I feel like those two messages kind of intertwine. I wanted to thank Carol for just helping me to create this. Give her thanks for igniting a little fire in me today. So, yeah, I part of my bigger message is really about. It's really about you. You are everything you need. This is really, we're entering this new paradigm. This is a completely different shift mentally, emotionally, a place where we can actually be our true authentic selves and not, and to let the fear slowly melt away. I know many of us have been brought up with this kind of fear about lots of things, about our desires, about money, about different types of lifestyles. I'm sure you can name many while you're sitting here listening to me. And it's my calling to tell you that anything that you're fearing, or really let's put it in the right context. Anything that you're desiring is truly possible. That's actually the foundation that everything needs to be built upon. The belief system that you are enough, that you are worthy, that you are your own fucking hero, as Carol Starr Taylor says. Check her out. She gets the credit for those words. You're the star of your movie, and you are a co-creator of your life. And the more you take responsibility for everything that happens to you, for you, with you, that will be happening, then you are reclaiming your power, and you are the queen of your story. And I don't think life gets any better than that, to be honest with you. And we're living in a new state of being. Some of us have begun to realize that. Some of us are beginning to realize it. Some of us are forced to realize it, as I mentioned yesterday, for those of you who've been following me. So if you've been feeling any kind of constriction while I'm talking, or feeling like sometimes you want to say something and you don't, you check yourself. I would invite you to say whatever it is that you're feeling. And it may be sometimes that it's not the person that you were, the polite person that you were, or the shy person that you were. Put whatever adjective fits in there. But we are called to be authentically who we are, because that gives us the right to shine our light, first of all. And secondly, it gives others the ability to step into the person who they are becoming, the person who they truly are. It expands our feelings, both in our heart and in our minds, and just in our very being. It expands our body into becoming limitless. It's just this expansiveness is infinite. And if you can dream it, you can do it. I've heard those kinds of words when I was a child, and I was always like, yeah, how did I do that? I finally figured it out. So it's really, it's believing, it's trusting, it's knowing in your heart what's true, and trusting in the unknown, trusting in the divine, the divinity that is within you, the divinity of all of us. We're all unique beings. And my biggest message is about sexuality. And part of the reason I actually want to talk today, I'm getting into kind of a new series about sexuality, is the whole idea of shame. around it, and I grew up with that, definitely if you asked around a room, my hand would go up. But really there isn't any shame, because it's completely a beautiful experience, and in a sacred environment, it can be both earthly pleasure, very pleasurable, as well as completely divine. When you mix the two, wow, that's like an extremely amazing combination. So I want to just say, if any of you, part of my message today is any of you thinking about, when it comes to eroticism or sexuality, and you're thinking about thoughts like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to do this fantasy or that fantasy? Oops, sorry, move the computer. I'd say go for it, go for the fantasy, go for sharing with whomever you want to share it with, whomever you might want to do that with, because this is part of your desires are divine messages. And I truly, truly believe anything that you desire is divine. Everything has two sides, maybe three sides of a dark, light, and maybe a gray. But if it's in a divine context, in a divine, sacred environment, everything's divine. It just is. It cannot be misconstrued in any other way. And once you think about it that way, and once you believe in that, once you feel into that, shame is not a word in my vocabulary anymore. There's nothing to feel shameful about. There's nothing to feel shameful about your body. I just went through, so many parts of our body, of loving our body, of how beautiful, beautiful, beautiful we are, every single cell of us, and how we utilize that to show and express our love is from the divine. Love in and of itself is divine. And how you choose to express that is your choice. And you are blessed for having those thoughts. Yes, you are blessed for having all of your thoughts, because they are an extension of your heart, an extension of love. Desire is an extension of love, of your heart. It may manifest in a variety of different ways. Allow it to unfold within you in whatever way possible, because this is part of stepping into this new way of being, is to accept ourselves, all of ourselves. And we are whole. We are more than enough the way we are. We do not need to change. We just need to be able to express it and not feel that we're being judged. Beneath shame is judgment. The foundation of shame, I believe, is judgment. That someone will be judging us, or we will be judging ourselves for our actions. Well, what if everything we did was for good? What if everything that we desired was for good? What if we actually perceived it that way? Then isn't that just an act of divinity within us, of divine love? Thank you, Dawn. So it just really was important for me to share that, because sometimes I talk with people and I talk to them about, I work with sacred eroticism and your sexual power, and how you can reclaim yourself through that. And some people feel uncomfortable, and I'm just posing the question for those of you who may be listening to this and may be drawn to it but are not sure why, and may be feeling uncomfortable. I would ask you to ask yourself, what makes you feel uncomfortable? What is it about this topic that makes you feel uncomfortable? This is a part of your body. We're blessed to create as women. We're blessed to have children, and if we choose to have male partners, the two of us can create children together. But beyond that, we all have the ability to create music, art, writing, anything we desire, beautiful gardens, whatever it is. We are blessed with every part of our body, our cells, our mind, our feelings to create. And that's a beautiful, beautiful gift, that we learn through our sexuality and through this amazing power of desire, of feeling, of touching, that I'll get into in a lot more detail in every day that we are together. I just wanted to leave you with a few thoughts that if you decide, if you can walk into this new paradigm with me where shame and judgment are not part of our reality, what would your reality look like? I'd like you to think about that. If you'd love to share, oh my gosh, I would love to hear your comments. And if you'd love to share, I would love you to share this video with other people, because this is an important topic. This is important for not only us as women and men, but for our children. This is really, really, I feel like this is one of the other reasons I wanted to come on today. It's not about just us anymore. It's not about us just satisfying our desires or being with the right partner or having that amazing relationship. All those things are totally, totally important. But what about our kids? What about the young people who we are role models for, that are watching us right now? We are role models for them to live an amazing life, free of shame and judgment. A life where they can be free and do what is the fire that's inside of them. They can let that out for good. I don't believe in hate or fear. I don't believe anything can those kinds of emotions are coming from a place where we were being judged, and we were not the good boy or girl when we were small, and it came out in negative ways. Well, I'm here to say that we were always perfect, and it was just the old story. So let's get rid of the old patterns and the old stories and walk into, embody our true selves of love. That's who we really are. We're all love. And we're all unique beings that have something to give to each other. So let's step into that. Let's step into that creativity, that expansiveness that we all have. And realize that our desires are here to be requited. That we're actually here to receive everything that we desire. So thank you for listening today. I will write a few words up. And let's make this happen together. Namaste, shalom.